The sound of bagpipes filled the Southern Nevada Police Memorial tonight to honor the 5 Metro officers lost over the past few years. Metro officer Trung Tai was shot and killed responding to a domestic disturbance call. Detective Justin Terry died when a metal beam crushed his car on the 95. Officers Philip Closey and Ed Contreras, as well as Sergeant Douglas King, died from COVID complications. Tonight's ceremony follows larger ceremonies last weekend in Washington, D.C. to honor fallen officers across the country. Tonight we look at how Metro's Honor Guard was there to carry out the poignant duty and why it's so important for the families and the Honor Guards themselves. And their duty began the moment families of the fallen Metro officers stepped off the plane at Reagan International Airport in D.C. Metro's Honor Guard escorted them into the nation's capital to honor their family members and the other officers who have died over the past year. This is the 42nd National Peace Officers Memorial Service, one of the final events of National Police Week. Honor Guards from Southern Nevada's police agencies, as well as Metro Sheriff Kevin McMahill and Under Sheriff Andy Walsh, traveled to Washington last weekend for Police Weekend. Metro Lieutenant Ryan Wiggins and Officer Victor Noriega performed taps for thousands of law enforcement officers and their families. A candlelight vigil paid tribute while the names of the fallen were read aloud. And their names will join 22,000 others on the Law Enforcement Memorial. It meant a lot to the family members.
They've been amazing. Amazing. I didn't realize how many people were going to be here. So yeah, it's a big honor. It's just an incredible honor for our family to know that his name is forever etched on the memorial. We're so grateful.
Impressive to see the whole Honor Guard here, as well as the sheriff and the sheriff here.
2 members of the Honor Guard, Officer Calvin Wandig and Officer Blake Pfiffner, sat down with us before leaving for D.C. The past weekend was especially hard for Wandig, who worked with Officer Tai.
This is a tough year for us. No, we lost Ty early. We lost also Detective Justin as well. So it was a tough year, a really tough year.
Officer Pfiffner is relatively new to the Honor Guard and the department, but he saw how they responded to his family when his father, a Nevada State game warden, died.
That's all that I want to do right by, is to give them the honor and to give them a sense of clarity and peace, knowing that their loved one will never be forgotten.
The 5 names of the officers is the highest number since 2008. You can find the names of all the officers who are honored by visiting policeweek.org.